Hey everyone, so I got a little bit of a different video for you all today. I thought I would give a short tour of my mini orchard I have in my backyard, as well as my garden that I'm trying to grow out this year. So hopefully you guys like this. I know it is a little bit different, but you know, if you do like these type of videos, be sure to let me know, and I can do more videos, maybe update videos as a lot of my plants start to grow out. So first, I'm here in my mini orchard. I have all those trees back there, and I'll just kind of show you all of them, let you know what they are, see how they're doing, and then we'll head back towards the house and I'll show you my very, very small garden that I have and some of the potted plants that I have as well. So starting off here, we have one of the Chicago hardy figs. You can see that there are a couple of figs growing here. They're pretty small still. This plant, so we have two of pretty much every single plant, or two of every single fruit tree. This one hasn't really been growing all that much. The first year it did fantastic. This year, it's not really doing much of anything. So I still have the chicken wire around to protect it from, you know, animals and cats and things like that from getting into it. But that is the first fig tree. And then we'll kind of skip over here. And then here's the other fig tree. So again, this is Chicago hardy fig. And this one's doing a lot better than the smaller one over there. As you can tell, it's a lot taller, a lot more green, and it has a lot more figs going on. So see, there's some figs back down there, figs throughout there, a couple figs in there, a bunch of figs in here. Should be ready to pick in the next month or two. Usually it's, I think it's early October when the harvest is ready to be picked. Right now, as you can tell, since it is that solid green, they turn oh, it is windy. So it does turn a deeper color, kind of brown, once it is ready to be picked. So those are the two Chicago figs, or Chicago hardy fig trees that I have. And then here, we have the first of two red mulberries. And then right next to it, we have another one. Again, you can tell one's doing substantially better than the other one, although this one's not doing too bad. These we planted, actually all these fruit trees I'm showing you so far, we planted the past 2 years. This is the first year these have actually given us fruit. However, all of the birds came and ate the mulberries before they ripened, before we could harvest them, because the fruit hadn't ripened yet. Now I'm hoping that doesn't happen again next year, because next year we should get a much larger harvest, and if some birds eat some of the mulberries, okay, that's fine. But I am hoping that we get a lot more next year, and then hopefully we'll be able to actually taste our red mulberries, because supposedly it's pretty good. So yeah, those are the two red mulberries we have. Next, I can show you this. This right here is the American pawpaw. This tree, again, like the other ones we planted 2 years ago. Last year, it did almost no growing. This year, it's been doing absolutely amazing. It is still tall, still very much a baby tree, so it's not going to give us any fruit this year. I doubt it'll give us any fruit next year. Well, actually, it definitely won't give us any fruit next year because it's not a self-fertile tree. It needs to pollinate with another tree. And I'll show you another tree in a second, which is very much a baby because we had to replace one that died. But yeah, that one's doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that's doing. So, again, I've never had an American pawpaw before, but, you know, I do want to try that. So hopefully that's good. now I can show you the baby that we just planted. I don't know. Hey, there's a dragonfly there. Cool. Look at that. So yeah, this pawpaw we just planted, I don't know, probably a couple months ago. As you can tell, very much still a baby. I still have the chicken wire around it, protect it. I have a little bit of mulch in there. Honestly, I need to get more mulch and probably weed around it. But yeah, this plant needs to grow a lot more before it can start to pollinate the bigger pawpaw over there. Because unfortunately, American pawpaws are not self-fertile. Now, the fig is self-fertile. The red mulberries are also self-fertile, but the pawpaws are not. So that's why, unfortunately, when our other pawpaw died, we had to replace it. And we got this little baby guy. Because I don't know if you've priced pawpaws, but they are pretty expensive to buy, at least if you're getting like an actual good-sized tree. So, you know, we're not in any rush really, so we just thought might as well start off with a little baby and see how it does. Now, we can move over here. This is the American Persimmon. Again, just like the American pawpaw, this is not a self-fertile tree. It needs to pollinate with another persimmon. And unfortunately, just like the pawpaw situation we had, our other persimmon died. So this one's doing actually really good. Like, kind of like the pawpaw, that first year we planted it, did essentially nothing. This year, it's kind of going a little crazy. It's very spread out, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of pruning of this tree come this winter to really get it more of a tree shape, because right now honestly it looks more like a bush, but this thing has been growing like crazy. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Unfortunately, again, not self-fertile, and the other persimmon we had did die. So again, we had to replace it with this. And here we have just a little baby persimmon. Just like the pawpaw, have the chicken wire around it to protect it from critters and from cats. This one's doing actually a lot better than the pawpaw. It definitely looks a lot better. It's been growing a lot faster. Pawpaws are very, very slow growing. Persimmons are, I don't know, moderate speed, and then as you can probably tell by the mulberries, yeah, those things are very fast growing because those things are way taller, way larger than anything else we have. But you know, hopefully in the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, maybe we'll get a persimmon. Definitely looking forward to that. And then also, 2 new plants we have. We have 2 plum trees. So we have this, which is the Santa Rosa plum. This is, again, a plant or a tree that we just planted this past year. So it hasn't had much time to grow. So again, have it chicken wired off. I put a lot more mulch in this one. This one actually looks a lot better. But yeah, so that's the Santa Rosa plum. And then we have this little guy over here, which is the Methley plum. This one's definitely a lot smaller than the other one, but they're doing pretty okay. Again, hopefully in the next 4 or 5 years we'll be able to get some plums out of these trees. Definitely looking forward to that because I love plums. And so do my kids. My kids, geez, they eat tons of plums, so this will be good for them too, so that's definitely looking good. Unfortunately, earlier, well, we technically planted these 2 plum trees late in the season. It was probably around May, probably the end of May actually. And I don't know if you can tell, but getting in closer, you can see that there is a lot of damage because we had a bunch of those Japanese beetles coming in and absolutely decimated. It's really coming back now. It actually looks a lot better than it did a month ago. But absolutely decimated both this plum tree and this plum tree. I mean, this plum tree is not really looking that great. It's still alive, but it's very twiggy looking. So that's kind of unfortunate. We did get, I don't know if you can see from back here, I can zoom in a little bit. We did get one of those traps for those bugs. So that's that trap back there. So that thing is supposed to catch the Japanese beetles. There's like bait, and then they fall in that bag, and then they can't get out. So hopefully that does help our situation. Ever since I put that in, it has helped substantially. Unfortunately, I kind of waited too late, and they did get eaten quite a bit, but you know, now that we have that, and also it's late enough in the season that I don't really think the Japanese beetles are going to be much of an issue. So yeah, those are the two plum trees. And now, in this little fenced off area, I can show you this. Raspberry bushes. So on this side, these are thorned raspberry bushes. I don't know the exact variety of which raspberry bush they are, but these ones have thorns, and as you can tell, this one is expanding a lot. This was originally just like one little like boop coming up in the ground, and raspberry bushes just go crazy, which I love because I love raspberries. And this past year, or well, this year I should say, it's really expanded a lot, like all the way in the back. We even have a little guy coming up over there. But yeah, this was originally just one little guy poking up. So this is our thorned raspberry bush. It's looking pretty good. Haven't gotten, well, actually no, that's not true. We did get a little bit of fruit from it in the very early spring. I don't know, maybe a dozen or so raspberries. But this is supposed to give us fruit this fall, so I'm hoping we get quite a bit. Now, over here, more raspberry bushes. And look at that, even some raspberries that are not quite ready to be picked. So this raspberry bush is a thornless variety. So we got thorns over there and thornless right here. These plants we actually got free from one of our neighbors because she was getting rid of her raspberry bushes. She didn't like how crazy they were getting. So she offered it to us, like, hey, if you guys come over, dig it up, feel free to take it. So we actually took two. So we got this one right here in the front of the fence, and then in the back, we had planted another one, which is actually now two in the back. And again, you can see some more raspberries coming up. I'm absolutely surprised, completely shocked that this plant has been giving us fruit this year. I didn't think we would get really any fruit because, again, I just planted it the last, I don't know, like 3 months ago, probably. Yeah, probably back in, late April, I would say. So I'm really surprised that this thing is actually giving us fruit. So yeah, I think that's fantastic. Then I can kind of give you a wide view of the orchard. So we got fig, mulberry, fig in the back, and then persimmon. And then you got one of the pawpaws right there, the baby. And then on the other side, you got the other pawpaw. And then, yeah, so that's the persimmon, and that's the baby persimmon. Sorry, I think my camera died. It's really hot out here, so I think the camera's actually overheating. So let me just kind of recap what I was just saying because I'm not sure where it got cut off. So I think I was just giving a quick view of the orchard, and I just pointed out the two persimmons we had. So the old persimmon, the new persimmon, and then the two plum trees. So far the only fruit we've been able to get last year And so far this year, although we haven't been able to pick it yet, is from the fig tree. That fig tree is doing definitely a lot better than that fig tree. That's been the only fruit we've been able to get. We did get some mulberries, but again, like I said, the birds got to it first. And of course, we did get some raspberries this year. So that's a very quick tour of my mini orchard in my backyard. So now, let's go closer to the front yard and I can show you the very tiny garden, little raised bed that I did this year, which unfortunately has not been doing that great. We've had kind of a lot of issues with it, so I'll kind of show you what it looks like. So this right here is our very tiny raised bed. As you can say, or as you can see, pretty small. It's 3 feet by 2 feet, I think 10 inches off the ground. I don't think it's 12, so yeah, I think it's a 10-inch raised bed. Now originally, my shadow's in the way. Originally we did have some cucumbers there, but as you can see, they died. And also, as you can see, this thing is pretty empty. So we also had a couple of zucchini in the back, which also died because of the bugs. These bugs have been insane. They've been eating pretty much everything. They killed off our zucchini completely, and then they killed off our cucumber. We were only able to get 2 cucumber this year. Or wait, no, we got 3. 3 cucumber from 2 plants. So that's unfortunate. These bigger plants, those are some green beans. I don't know if there's, oh yeah, see, so there's 1 green bean down there that I guess we forgot to pick. A couple of flowers back there, maybe you can see that. So we'll be definitely giving us some more. We had quite a few more green bean plants, but again, they completely died out. And the reason for that, I think, is because we were also growing a couple of broccolis, and I had no idea that broccoli got so big and so leafy that it completely shaded off pretty much this entire bed. Also, what was unfortunate about that is, again, with the bugs, completely decimated the broccoli. So the broccoli stopped pretty much everything else from growing, and then it didn't even give us any broccoli. We got 1 tiny crown of broccoli, which, I mean, was good, but it was also definitely disappointing. So after we pulled up the broccoli, we pulled up the zucchini. I still need to pull up the cucumbers. But after doing that, we did plant a couple more green beans right there, and then a couple more in the back. Honestly, I should probably pick just those 2 and maybe just plant more green beans or something else. But that's that side, and then over here, we have a little row of radishes. That, just planted that in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks, so that's very, very young. Those things grow really, really fast, so it'll probably just be another 2 weeks and those things will be ready to harvest. But yeah, we definitely had some trouble with this. Again, we have to put chicken wire around everything because cats love coming in our yard and then they're like, oh sweet, a litter box, and just poop everywhere in this. So we had to chicken wire this whole thing up. But that's okay, because we can still easily reach in and pick and, you know, do some weeding as needed. So unfortunately, the raised bed was a little bit of a bust this year, but the green beans are doing good. We're getting more green beans. Hopefully we'll get some radishes in there. And now I know I'm never going to do broccoli again. And I doubt I would also do zucchini as well, because the bugs just go crazy for those veggies, and it's impossible unless you use pesticides. But I don't want to use pesticides. That's kind of one of the whole points in gardening yourself, is because you make it all natural. And also it's cheap. Well, cheap. It's cheap once everything's established. And, you know, it is fun. Definitely gives me something to do, so. yeah, so that's the tiny raised bed. So that's that, and now we can go further over into this corner, and then I can show you I have some blackberries and also this. This is a elderberry. Again, this is something we just recently planted this past year in the spring, and this was just a little guy. Like, he was like probably like just yay tall, and now he's stretching all the way up there. And also, again, as you can tell, those Japanese beetles, man, they go crazy. I mean, look, this leaf is like completely chewed up, completely gone. Those Japanese beetles did a number to the plums, like I said, but also to this elderberry. Really, really unfortunate, but I'm not too worried about it because this thing grows so fast, and this thing is supposed to get very big and very poofy. So it'll fill up this whole corner, and then we'll get some elderberries. Now, the reason we have elderberries, and also the figs, and the persimmons, and the pawpaws, those are all those plants are natural to this area where I live in Virginia. So they should all do good in this area, and they have been. Especially the figs are doing amazing. The mulberries are doing amazing. I mean, we did have an issue with one of the persimmons and one of the pawpaws, but you know, that just happens when you plant trees sometimes. But yeah, they've been doing fantastic, and this plant is just going completely buck wild. If it wasn't for those Japanese beetles, this thing would look even poofier than it is. Now, coming down the side of the fence, we have some blackberries. These, again, something that just planted in the spring, late spring. So these are just getting established right now. This one I have chicken wire around it because it was having some issues. And you can see you've got some mulch in there to hold in the moisture as well, because it is hot and it is sunny. And man, does that just sap the water out of these plants like crazy. So we have 1 blackberry, 2 blackberry, and 3 blackberry. And this one is also, look at that. He just wants to like lie flat. I don't know if I need to tie him up or something, but yeah, he's just leaning over like crazy. He's growing sideways. I don't know why. If you know how to get these things to grow up, or if this is just the way they grow, is spread out, you know, let me know in the comments below. I'm very much, this is like trial by fire kind of thing. I am not good at gardening at all, as you can tell by my raised bed. But I am trying to learn. And I love blackberries. So we have those 3 blackberry bushes there. Hopefully they spread out quite a bit and just fill out this whole area. And then of course the elderberry will fill out as well. Again, these are the thornless variety of blackberry. I don't know the exact type of blackberry they are, only that they are thornless. Okay, so those are the blackberries. Raised bed again, so we'll go around that. And then look at what do we have here. 3 more blackberries. These ones we're keeping in the pots. Same exact variety as the ones along the fence. These we're just keeping in the pot because we don't really want them to spread like crazy. But yeah, in theory, we are going to be getting a ton of blackberries this year. Or not this year, but next year. And definitely in the next 2-3 years, man, we'll be able to open up like a little blackberry farm with all these blackberries we got growing. As you can tell, I love blackberries. I also love raspberries. So yeah, there's that. And now we can go down along the fence and I can show you all of the potted plants that we have. Starting off in this corner, we have my very little lemon tree. Although honestly, it's probably more of a lemon bush variety. But look at, there's a little lemon growing there. Is that gonna focus? Yeah, look at that little lemon. There's also another one down there, and a third one right there. So this is the Mayor lemon variety. I've had this thing now for 3 years, and it's never done anything, and honestly, it's always looked terrible. This is the first year when it's actually poofy and green, actually has leaves, and is actually finally growing little lemons. Look at that. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. Now moving over here, we have a snacking pepper with, oh look at that, there's actually a pepper like ready to pick right there. So that's snacking pepper number 1. That thing needs to be watered. Look at that thing is wilty. Snacking pepper number 2 with a pepper growing. And then this one, which is really tiny for some reason, but this is snacking pepper number 3. So 3 snacking peppers, lemon, and then here we go. Look at this. This is something I bought my wife for Mother's Day. This one and that one over there on the other side of the stairs. This is a blueberry bush. So again, this is just from this year, so it is growing up. As you can see, still pretty tiny. Definitely not going to give us any blueberry. Well, we already missed blueberry season anyways. But no blueberries this year. Probably none next year. But I'm hoping for the year after. Wow, it's windy. Hoping for in 2 years we'll be able to get some blueberries out of this. I don't remember the variety of blueberry this is. Oh wait, look at this, how convenient. What does that say? Sweetheart blueberry. Sweetheart blueberry. There you go, that's a sweetheart blueberry variety. That's convenient, left that in there. And then on this side of the stairs, another blueberry. This one's not growing nearly as tall as that one. As you can see, this one's kind of tiny. It is a different variety. This one, pink lemonade blueberry. So this blueberry actually, as you can tell by the name, or guess by the name, is a blueberry that's pink. I've never had a pink blueberry before, or a pink lemonade blueberry before, so I don't know if it's good, but apparently they're sweeter than, you know, a normal blueberry like the blueberry over there. So yeah, maybe in the next 2 years, we'll get some blueberries out of that. Nothing in this pot. I was growing some radishes in there, but I recently harvested and haven't replanted. Another pepper plant. This one's not looking too hot. We have one pepper right here, but it's really curly for some reason. This is a banana pepper. So it's looking okay. We've gotten quite a few out of them, or quite a few peppers out of this plant. And then this is a jalapeno pepper plant with one jalapeno that I am keeping on the stem for as long as possible because I want to harvest the seeds from that. And then hopefully with the seeds I'll be able to grow some more jalapeno peppers. But yeah, this one's very tall. And we've gotten a few jalapeno peppers out of that this year, so that's been fantastic. And then coming around the side, this is pretty much dead. These buckets were filled with lettuce, although as you can tell, man, they're kind of growing back. Which is, I'm surprised because it's so hot. I didn't think lettuce did really good in the heat, but apparently they're kind of coming back a little bit. Probably doesn't taste very good though. Yeah. Those are the couple lettuce tubs that we had. And then I can just show you this on the deck quickly. Look at that. A little fig tree that we're growing. That actually comes from the fig tree out there. It was a sucker that was growing off of the tree. We just plucked it off, put it in there, and it's doing fantastic. And then that's just a flower. I can't remember what kind of flower that is. My son planted that, and he did the artwork on the pot, so cool. So this plant that my son planted is actually called a petunia. And he just planted that, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago or something, so this thing is very fresh. I probably need to add a little bit more soil to it. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. So yeah, that is a quick tour of my tiny garden and my mini orchard, as I like to say. I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you all think down in the comments below. If you have any questions for me, or if you have any tips for me, honestly, that'd be really helpful. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of, you know, doing whatever I think is best. I've had some issues, but hopefully those issues are sorted out now. But yeah, let me know what you all think down in the comments below. If you like this video, also let me know. I can give update videos, you know, throughout the years. Maybe we'll see how this grows, how it changes, and how it expands in the next couple of years. But yeah, anyways, thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you again shortly. Bye for now. Oh, and one quick thing I wanted to mention. So I know this looks kind of random with like the fence and then just the big grass area and just nothing there. So the goal is to have, this is going to be a stone path, and then we'll have maybe some raised beds on the side. So stone path, and then coming in here, and then this area would be a mini rock garden. And then as the trees grow, you know, you get more shade from the trees, and it'd be a nice little shaded area to sit out, maybe have a nice little bench in the rock garden. Nice little area to relax. So I know right now it does look kind of random, but hopefully in the next couple years we'll get that sorted out and it'll look good. Alright, anyways, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Alright, anyways, I know that is a little random, but just wanted to share that one point because I know it does look a little funny right now. So just wanted to share. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.